Okay, do we win down here? Do we win down here? That's something I've been seeing a lot lately, social media particularly, and even different ministers kind of sprinkling this into the sermon. Church, we win down here, not just up there. What do you take of that? Like, how do you understand that? What does that mean? Is it true? Love to hear your thoughts and comments. Put them below. Here's my take on it. If we're going to throw out something like that, we win down here, we need to define the game. Like, what in the world are you talking about? Like, looking at Jesus of Nazareth, his life on earth, the life he lived in the flesh here. I don't mean his ruling and reign in heaven, but his life here. Would you look at the life of Jesus of Nazareth and say that he won down here? Like, are your definitions of winning, is your understanding of the game that we're playing, is it such that you can look at the life of Jesus of Nazareth, and be like, yeah, he won? Because God's definition of winning is not always the world's definition of winning. You can be winning in one and you can be losing in the other, or it is possible that there's some overlap where you're actually winning in both. I think about what the Apostle Paul said. He said, I know how to be abased and I know how to abound. I know how to have much and I know how to have little. I've learned the secret of being content in every situation. Now, from a world standpoint, being abased or having little is not winning. Having abounding and having much, that's winning. But Paul's playing a different game. He's to him, the definitions of winning is different. For him, winning is being able to be content in any and all circumstances, whether things are going really well or whether things are going really poorly, whether I have a lot of money in the bank account, or whether I don't, whether elections in government are going my way, or whether my guy's losing and it's not winning. Like, what game are you playing? Does your definition of winning, is it such that you can look at Jesus of Nazareth on the cross, dying a torturous criminal's death, and you can say that's winning? From God's standpoint, it was the ultimate victory. But from the world's standpoint, there was no victory about that. So do we win down here? I guess it's a matter of perspective. From the world's perspective, Christians certainly don't always win down here. Many of the places where the church is growing the fastest in the world, China and Iran, these countries, if you measure it by any sort of political measurement, in many ways, the nation that they're in as a whole is not doing so well, and they're suffering persecution. But if you look at the church growth in both of these countries over the last 50 years, going from just a handful of believers to now multiply millions and millions of believers, they're winning. They're winning. It doesn't look like it from the world's perspective, but they're winning. But when Christ comes, when he comes back in authority to judge the living and the dead, then on that day, we'll see from the tapestry side. And the first will be last, and the last will be first. And then his reward will be with him. Our reward is not in this life. It is when Christ comes again in judgment and in power. That is the day that we're living for. Yes, sometimes in this life, Christians may prosper. Things may go our way politically, socially. Sometimes it'll happen, and it's fantastic. I love it when it does. That's great. But not always. But here's the thing, we can still win in God's eyes. We can still win in eternity's game, even if we're losing in the world's temporal game. So if we're going to throw out little comments, we win down here, yeah, okay. In a sense, that could be true. Let's define what we mean, because if not, you're just getting a little too close to sounding like the prosperity gospel.